Hey everyone, so today we're diving into something that's, at the very heart of youth sports, especially soccer. The idea that winning is everything, that it's the ultimate sign of progress. But what if I told you that for young players, a long winning streak might actually be a red flag? Let's get into it. I know. It's a crazy question, right? Our gut reaction is to say, of course not. But stick with me here. We're going to challenge that assumption. We're going to look at how focusing on that scoreboard so early on can actually get in the way of what really matters, which is long-term development. And this quote from Coach Nicholas Serenati it hits the nail on the head. It cuts right through all the noise of trophies and league standings. It basically says, hey, what we think we're seeing as progress might be something else entirely. So what is it that we're really seeing out there on the field? All right, so let's start by just pulling apart this winning illusion. We're going to look right past that final score to figure out what is really going on during those super important early years of youth soccer. So what's the big secret behind those teams of 10-year-olds that just seem to dominate everyone? Well, it's usually not some deep tactical genius at play. It's often an advantage that is, by its very nature, temporary: physical maturity. And this, right here, is where the whole illusion gets started. So why is this illusion so darn powerful? Why do we all, and I mean parents, coaches, even the players themselves, fall into this trap? Well, the reasons are actually pretty simple. You can see them with your own eyes, and man, are they convincing in the moment. It really is that simple. At these younger ages, a kid who is just a little bit taller, a little bit faster, or who just hit their growth spurt a year before everybody else, that can be the difference maker in a game. It's not about beautiful tactics or incredible skill. A lot of the time, it's just raw physical power. This is where it gets really interesting, when you look at how the game completely changes. At 10 years old, the field feels massive. A fast player can just kick the ball past a defender and go get it. Easy. But fast forward to age 16, and suddenly everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. And all that space and time you used to have, poof, it's gone. Raw athleticism just isn't the trump card anymore. The game starts rewarding something totally different: how fast you can think. And that is the absolute turning point. The game gets older, it gets smarter, and it stops letting you get away with not having the technical skills or the tactical brain. That crutch of just being bigger and faster gets kicked right out from under you. And this is the exact moment so many of these promising young players just hit a brick wall. Now look, winning itself isn't a bad thing. The real danger is in what that early winning is hiding. It creates this feedback loop that feels amazing for everyone involved, but behind the scenes, it's quietly grinding real development to a halt. Think about how this cycle works. The team wins, so the parents feel great, right? Their time and money are paying off. The coach feels validated. Hey, my methods are working. The club gets to post that shiny record on Instagram. But what about the player? The kid who can win just by being faster never gets pushed to develop the other parts of their game. Everybody gets comfortable right at the exact moment they should be hitting the gas on learning. And this is the real problem. The winning is like a fresh coat of paint over some serious cracks in the foundation. It covers up these fundamental weaknesses because, hey, who cares? We got the W. So, what are these hidden gaps? These are the things that actually make a great player when the game gets tough. I mean, if you can just outrun everyone, you never learn how to make a clever pass when a defender is breathing down your neck. If you always have tons of space, you never need a perfect first touch to get out of trouble. You don't learn to read the game because you can just run right through it. These crucial skills are just not being built. And the key word, the most important word here, is invisible. You can't see these problems on the scoreboard when you're 11. They only show up later, around age 15 or 16, when everyone else catches up physically. And by then it can be way too late to play catch up. Okay, so let's look at how this all plays out. You basically have two very different journeys for young players. We're going to compare the player who dominates early with the one who maybe struggled a bit, but was forced to learn the game in a totally different way. This lays out the two paths so clearly. On one side, you've got the early dominator. Their whole game is built on a physical advantage that's going to disappear. Their skills just don't scale up. But then you have the problem solver. This is maybe the smaller, not as fast kid who couldn't rely on athleticism. They had to learn how to think, how to be clever, how to read the game. Their skills are built for the future of soccer. I love this quote. It's so blunt. You can kind of bully your way through games when you're young just by being bigger and stronger. But eventually, the game gets way too smart for that,
It rewards the players who can outthink their opponents, not just outmuscle them. So if the scoreboard is basically lying to us, what should we be looking for? This last part is all about creating a brand new scorecard. A better way for all of us, parents and coaches, to measure what's actually important for long-term success.
So for just a minute, forget the final score. Instead, ask yourself these kinds of questions. Is my player making smart choices when everything on the field is chaos? Can they pull off a skill when a defender is right on their back? When the team goes down a goal, how do they react? Do they adapt? These are the real signs of a player who is truly, deeply developing. So what can we do? It's really just a shift in our mindset. Instead of only cheering for the win, let's celebrate that really clever pass that maybe didn't quite work out. Instead of getting on a kid for a mistake, let's frame it as a learning moment. And let's start to really see and value the players who are thinking and adapting, even if they're not the biggest or fastest ones on the team yet.
What a great way to put it. You just can't cheat true development. The hard work a player puts in, or doesn't put in, it will always show up down the line. The game holds everybody accountable in the end.
And this is really the final takeaway. The game itself is the ultimate truth teller. A training session that's just focused on winning might hide a player's weaknesses for a little while, but a real, competitive game, it will expose every single one of them. True development is about getting players ready for that test.
So we'll leave you with this question to really think about. The next time you're on the sidelines, what are you watching for? Is it just the number on the scoreboard? Or is it those small but crucial signs of a player who is actually learning how to play the game? Because ultimately, what you choose to measure is what you're going to get.